Our next speaker is Dr. Niamh Cullen. Niamh is a member of the parents, the Parents for Inclusive Education. And Niamh, you're very welcome to come and speak to us.
Thank you, and good evening. So I've been asked to give, I guess, a parent's perspective and to spend a few minutes talking particularly about the right of withdrawal and the experiences that we have as a group of it. So the recent guidance that's been issued by the Department of Education suggests that simply restating the right of parents to withdraw their children from RE collective worship, which is already provided for by law, that this is essentially doing enough to comply with the recent Supreme Court judgment. At Parents for Inclusive Education, we've got first-hand experience of how the withdrawal system works for parents and children at a number of schools in the north, and we don't think that simply allowing this right to withdraw is an adequate or an equitable solution to the current RE system. In fact, exercising this right, we would say, has caused children to be singled out and othered, particularly in schools where they might be the only ones or in a very small minority to essentially to exercise this option. So my own two primary school children are withdrawn from religious assemblies. We're not a religious family and we're not happy with them receiving essentially what is Christian instruction, so they're withdrawn. Broadly speaking, the arrangement works okay for them, mainly because our school population is an unusually diverse one, and they're part of a group of children who are withdrawn together. And since some parents raised awareness about religious visitors to assembly about a year ago, the number of children who are withdrawn has also grown a little bit. It's still very much a minority in each class, but my children are happy that they're not the only ones. So it just about works. But other families' experiences have been very different. In one case, a member of our group was told when their children began at school that the child would have to sit in the principal's office if they weren't attending the religious assembly. And the child kind of subsequently reported they didn't go to assembly, but they would often feel quite sad and left out, especially when they saw the other children coming back from assemblies, or that they'd been to a puppet show or were given sweets or whatever happened. So there was this very strong feeling that something kind of collective was happening at assembly and they were missing out. This particular child also experienced bullying, like being told that they were a bad child or might go to hell for not believing in God, and this was all because the child was known to be withdrawn in a school where this was very much not the norm. So this is one experience, but it doesn't seem to be that unusual. We've heard many similar stories in our group, and because of experiences like that, it should be no surprise, I think, that many parents choose not to opt their children out, even if they're not comfortable with the current system of essentially what is Christian instruction. And if the RE collective worship doesn't fit their beliefs, and if you think about it, who would want their child to be singled out and to feel that they were missing out on these kind of fun, collective experiences, and possibly even bullied for it? As parents, we generally wish, as a minimum, I think, at school, that our children will feel included and happy while they're there. And even within our group, that's among those of us who are very much actively working for change in this area, there are parents who don't withdraw their children for precisely these reasons. And speaking for myself, I would say that even though we as parents and crucially our children are reasonably happy with the withdrawal arrangements at our school, I still know that they're missing out. I completely agree with Norman that inclusion is better than opting out. And I know that my children are missing out on a lot. They miss out on the whole school togetherness of the assembly, the chance to sing and celebrate together. They also miss out on the chance to learn about religion. And as Naomi was saying, this is so important, especially in the increasingly plural world that we live in today. I would like them to learn about Christianity, but also about all the other traditions and faiths and worldviews that inform the world that we live in today, and they're missing out on that experience. So I feel that we're all looking at the space of the curriculum reform and really hoping that this is leads to positive developments in this area, and that we do get the objective, critical, and plural curriculum that is being promised. I hope that when that day comes, that I will be able to opt my children back in. The ideal, I think, at PFIE that we are all working for would be an ORI system where no child or family feels that they should have to be up to date. But until then, unfortunately, my children cannot attend. But hopefully, as I say, things will change in the future, and it's really nice to just be part of these discussions. And let's hope that we see positive changes in this area.